Hello and welcome to the Insufferable Joy podcast. I'm your host, Kathryn Currie, and today we have a very special guest, none other than my husband-to-be, Joe McAdam. How you doing today, Joe?
Just wonderful.
Joe is a reluctant podcaster, and he's not very happy about being interviewed today. He's a little on the nervous side, but he's super cute, so we're going to put up with it. We're going to talk about relationships and how we met. So pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage, and let's get started. So we're sitting here on the couch drinking our coffee and just wanted to give you a little peek into our story and how we met. And
You should tell them about what you wanted and somebody that you were going to date.
Oh, okay. So one of the things that I did, because I was single after my divorce and everything for about 15 years. I dated, but I hadn't been married. So this is my second marriage that was coming up here, and hopefully the best for last. Anyway,
Hopefully.
So yes, it is. We know it's going to be the best because the other one couldn't be any worse, right?
I don't know, but
Low bar, right? So anyway, good thing we could laugh about things now. But so some of the things that I had wanted in a husband were not necessarily like how they looked or what they did for a job or whatever, but it was how I wanted to feel, how I wanted to have our relationship be, because my first marriage was so awful that I thought if I ever do get married again, I want it to be not just a good relationship, it has to be a great relationship. It has to be love of a lifetime, and that's what I feel like I found in you, honey.
and I do with you as well.
Aww. So anyway, things that I had on my list were I wanted to feel small in his arms. That was one of the big things. And Joe is 6'7", and I definitely feel small in his arms. But there was more than that. It was more of a feeling protected and feeling like I was covered by him. There's a passage in the Bible that I just love. It's about the story of Ruth, and she is a lady who has lost her husband, and she's not from the Jewish race. She is Moabite, and she married into a family that was Jewish, and she is very close to her mother-in-law, who is Naomi. But then Naomi's husband, the father-in-law, dies, and then both Naomi's sons die. So Ruth's wife, and then Naomi had another son, and he dies as well. But Ruth stays by her side, even though she has no chance of having another son and her marrying him or whatever, which was the custom back then. But anyway, long story short, Ruth ends up going back to the Jewish settlement with Naomi, and they find that there is what they call a kinsman redeemer, somebody that could marry Ruth and then continue on the family name. And so Ruth goes at night, which is kind of scandalous, goes at night and lays at the feet of Boaz, who is the kinsman redeemer. And one of the things she says when he wakes up and discovers that she's at his feet, she says to him, "Spread your garment of protection over me." And that imagery, I just love that. I know it's a little bit deep and kind of geeky, but I love that imagery of spreading your garment of protection. And that's how I feel embraced in Joe's arms for sure. Some of the other things that I wanted to feel cherished and honored, and I wanted somebody to challenge me, which Joe definitely does that. And I was wanting somebody who liked coffee.
That's where I thought we were starting, was the coffee. You went on a nice little tangent there.
But yes, the coffee thing was big because I wanted someone that I could sit down with and enjoy a cup of coffee and have that time of enjoying each other's company, not just the coffee. But I just love coffee. So you love me, you love my coffee, I guess. How about you, Joe? Did you have a list?
Not specifically, no, not really a list. I wanted a good person, with a kind heart. I wanted to learn more about spirituality and Jesus and God. I just, I wanted somebody that when I saw them, my heart kind of lit up and just made me feel good. And we do that. We laugh and have the best time doing the silliest things. And we have common goals. I wanted somebody to push me, and I also wanted to help someone too. I like to help people, and you've got so many things going for you, and you've accomplished so many things that the world needs to know more about you. And I know you're just going to help so many people. You just amaze me every single day.
Thanks, honey. I probably would never have started my podcast if it hadn't been for Joe. He has been so encouraging and instrumental in kind of, I guess, pushing me, towards this, because, I've been through a lot, and it's emotional to share all this stuff. It's hard. It's been, when you don't think about things, you kind of forget them, and they don't impact your life on an everyday basis. But kind of like when you go through therapy and you start to talk about stuff and you dig things up, it kind of like brings them to the surface. And in a way, I've had to kind of like take another step back and look at things again. And it's been healing. It's been a healing journey for me. So how did we meet?
Like in school, in the hallway, 30 some years ago. No, you started. You're better at telling stories.
So Joe and I went to the same high school. I was born and raised in Ludington, and I started high school, and I was a freshman.
I moved to here when I was a junior from Hillsdale.
So he was born and raised in Hillsdale until he was a junior in high school, and then he moved to Ludington. And as Joe is very tall, he's kind of hard to miss, and he was part of the basketball team. But there was a lot of tall guys on that team.
Yeah, we had a big team. We had like 6'8", 6'7", 6'6", 6'4". We were one of the bigger teams in the state.
You guys did pretty well, didn't you?
Yeah, we went to the quarterfinals. We were one of the last teams left in the state, and we played horrible, but that's a different story. But it was different. It was difficult moving to a new school and getting to know people. But Ludington is so beautiful. Everybody was saying they couldn't wait to get out of that small town and go do things. And even back then, I remember saying they'll all want to move back. It's just such a nice little town. It's such a beautiful town right on Lake Michigan, and I didn't understand that. I fell in love with the area.
Yeah, it is beautiful. I love the beach there. When I think about Ludington, I think about, like, home to me is the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't really know each other in high school, even though we went to the same high school, and it was pretty small. Was there maybe 500 kids?
I thought they were closer to 7. I think my graduating class had close to 180 or something like that.
Really? I think mine was only like 115. It was
wow.
small. But anyway, so, Joe being upperclassman and I was underclassman, I didn't really know him. So he was like a cool kid.
Well done.
I was like, I was in the Ushers Club.
That's where I saw you.
I was like selling tickets for all his basketball games and handing out, I don't know, there must have been some sort of like, I don't know, I remember handing out programs at something, So, yeah, I was a big geek.
I don't think I was the cool kid. I never felt like that. I always felt like a little awkward, not, shy, that kind of thing.
Well, anyway, so we didn't really hang out, but then, 30 years later.
We took totally different paths in life.
Yeah. So, yeah, Joe.
We owned a family restaurant in Ludington, bar restaurant, for almost 25 years. And just what an experience that was, all the amazing people that we met. And that's the thing I miss most about that, is just the people that we met and seeing them every year and celebrating with them and seeing how they grew and them bringing their kids in and just seeing how their lives changed. And that was a really fun and unique time.
Yeah, but you guys had some challenges too of constantly being on the clock and not having time to get away.
Yeah, that's one thing. It was nice, though, I mean, because my family worked together. We had 7 apartments upstairs, and my brother lived one, I lived one, my parents had one, and they still had, their houses and stuff. But it was, you're always there. I mean, you were always either working. If somebody didn't show, you're cooking or bartending, well, picking up tables, doing that. When you're done, people always want to be around and they want you to stay. And then when you live upstairs, you're constantly at people's, when they come in, they know where you live and they call you down. It's 24/7. Like I say, and I another story, but I'm so grateful for the time I got to spend with my brother and my family during those years, because not many people were able to spend as much time with their brother, their mom, their dad. I mean, and my mom passed away very young and at 65, and I'm just so grateful for all the times, because she was like my best friend, and we worked together, we, lived by each other, we socialized together. It's just, I'm so grateful for that. So, and then we're getting off a tangent here, so you can make me all emotional about my mom. But let's move on. It was a definitely unique time in my life.
So as it's kind of interesting. So Joe went away to Michigan State after he graduated from high school. I stayed. So then I would finish my junior and senior year at Ludington High School, and then the next 2 years. So he finished 4 years at Michigan State. So we could have been at Michigan State at the same time, but I went to a community college near Ludington for the first 2 years, and then I went to Michigan State. So we just missed each other there. But anyway, so many years later, we were both on the same dating app, which is called Bumble. It's just another funny story about... Anyway, so Joe was on Bumble, and I like the site because the woman makes the first move. So there's pictures on there and different bios, and then if you think somebody's interesting, then you swipe to the right, and then that opens up the ability for them to communicate with you.
I like that aspect too, because I didn't want to reach out and have a million different conversations. I just wanted, if somebody was interested in me, then that kind of narrowed down my choices. I wasn't really trying to meet anybody. I was just kind of seeing what happened. And I like the fact that the lady got to choose first, and that took a little of the anxiety out of it, I guess,
Well, I was just kind of almost done too. Like, both of us were just like sick of dating.
Yeah, it's like whatever. If something happens, that's cool. If not, I really wasn't actively searching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of to the point where like I was very happy being by myself. I didn't feel like I was like real desperate or needed something. I just wanted somebody to hang out with, somebody to be able to do stuff with, not even knowing like, would this go into anything else? I always wanted to, if I found the right person, to get married again, but it wasn't like first and foremost on my list. It was like I just wanted a companion, somebody to be able to go to cookouts with and hang out with. And anyway, so
it's kind of crazy though that you can set the distance for that, and I don't know why I set it for like 2 hours, or you know what I mean, a 2-hour drive or whatever. That was kind of, I don't know if I didn't have a hand in that or what, because I mean, I really didn't want to drive 2 hours. Maybe I thought, okay, far enough away, but close enough. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's kind of crazy that we set that distance, and that's exactly how far away you are.
Mm-hmm. And so we just started texting back and forth. And one of the first things Joe asked me to send him a picture of me. And so I think I was like at work or something. And I sent him. Did I send you a picture of me at work?
I think in your in your
my
mask and your scrubs.
Yeah. I was all masked up. It was during COVID, so I was like masked up. So I sent a picture of me masked up, and then I asked him for a picture of him. And what did you send me?
I sent you a picture of Sloth from the Goonies in the Baby Ruth line.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, and I was like, "Yep, that's the one for me." Anyway, so we have just, first...
How about when I remembered your name.
Oh my gosh, this is funny. Go ahead.
So when we finally exchanged numbers or whatever, so I remembered the way I remembered her name, since her name is Can I say her name?
Yeah.
Her name is Kathryn Joy Wilson Currie. So I put in my phone as Kathryn Bumble Joy Wilson Currie. So when like Siri would answer or something, it said, "You have a call from Kathryn Bumble Joy Wilson Currie." So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, but then didn't you share it somehow?
No, yeah, somehow we accidentally sent a business email with your name, your nickname.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So.
Oh, jeez. Some of these stories might only be funny to us. So then we went and we met up. And
Yeah,
we decided.
so we met up in Cadillac. And that was where our first date was, and we've gone back there several times and try to go back there on like the day that we met, which was in November.
It's about the halfway point. A little over for me, but.
So yeah,
Saw her walk in the front door. She was absolutely stunning looking, and waved at her, and I was just excited to see her. And conversation just flew by, trying to catch up and figure out where each other had been and what we'd been through, and just, I mean, I don't remember struggling for conversation whatsoever. I don't.
No,
not like now.
Honey.
I'm just kidding.
No, we seem to. I mean, we've always gotten along. There's been a few times where we've had some disagreements, but for the most part, I think we communicate pretty well.
We can edit that out, right?
Oh my gosh, you're crazy.
Oh, I know.
So, yeah, that's the story of how we met. I mean, even, we dated for a couple years before. We had talked about would we ever want to get married, and neither of us were just kind of like. I mean, it was if we get married, we get married, but it wasn't like an urgent thing, or wasn't.
Neither one put the pressure on either one for the relationship at all. I mean, we knew we wanted to be with each other because we wanted to be with each other. We didn't need a label or title or or certificate at that point or anything like that. But it did come to a point, at some point, where we just missed each other so much that we knew we wanted to be closer and wanted to spend more time. It's like when we were apart, it just, I don't know, life was just different.
I know, it's kind of crazy. I just when you are not near me, I just miss you like crazy. And
same here. There's so many things to miss too. It's just, just the goofy things and fun things that we do. We make fun of. We can have fun doing anything.
Yeah.
And I like our little adventures and stuff like that. Those are great. And for the short amount of time we've been together, less than 2.5 years. We've had a great time, and we just enjoy doing things together. It could be the smallest thing too, just like working in the yard and doing things. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't share my crazy love of tadpoles and turtles, and you appreciate that stuff, but not the same way that I do. And there's things that you.
Yeah, you're like a distracted puppy when you go for a walk. You got to stop and see everything. You got to smell everything. You got to look at every flower. You got to see every animal. And you're in awe by everything, which I love. It's, I definitely see life from a different perspective from you, through you too.
Yeah.
I'm just looking out at the yard right now. I just like all the things that we've accomplished with this house in this yard and things like that in the 2.5 years. You've only been here 3, I think. And it's just, I feel so proud of all the things that we've done. Just.
Yeah, we're making progress.
Well, we're also going into business together, which is pretty exciting. So we've got some new things coming up in the solar industry, and we might even be starting a podcast together, and depending on how this one goes.
I think you did great, honey.
Oh, thanks. I think you did awesome. I love listening to yours.
Aw. All right.
Wait.
So what?
Guess what?
What?
40 days until we get married. It's like, didn't Noah build an ark in that amount of time?
Was that
Or no, he didn't build an ark. It was 40 days and 40 nights of rain.
Mm-hmm. I know. We could use 40 days at least of rain.
Rained this morning, which is nice.
So dry. We had fires here this weekend.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. 40 days, honey.
Crazy.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited. I mean,
Are you nervous?
Well, obviously.
I'm not nervous.
Well,
I mean,
you've done it before. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, well, that should make me even more nervous.
You're right. Definitely. No, I'm not nervous. No, one thing I'm excited about is seeing all the family and friends and introducing people to each other that were important in my life and that are important in yours, or are important in mine and are important in yours. It's just going to be great. I'm really excited for it. So.
I know. I'm just hoping that I don't just like, I'm not a big slobbery crying mess like the entire day, because like even now just thinking about it, it's like I'm getting teared up because I'm just like, I am just so incredibly, I just feel so blessed. I feel so blessed to have you in my life and to have our friends and family that are going to be able to be there. And I just, I'm excited about it.
I am too. I keep picturing of you walking down those stairs, and I know you're just going to be absolutely glowing and radiant and beautiful, and I mean, you're even more so on the inside. So I'm so excited. I'm very honored to get to be your husband.
Aww. I'm excited to have you as my husband. Oh man. So I guess you'll be hearing more from us since Joe did such a great job today.
I don't know about all that. But
So we'll see how this recording goes. Hopefully we captured our voices well, other than we're going to have to get our big microphone out and try it that way. But it would be hard to kind of repeat this, but I'm sure if we needed to, we could. But anyway, so I hope you found this helpful. I hope you found it insightful and entertaining. And I hope you have a great, blessed rest of your week. Be blessed.
Be blessed.